Hey Enchanatlings, I'm back on another video. If you're new here, I'm Nicole and this is my BookTube channel. So I thought today we'd do the mid-year freak out tag. I done this last year on my Bookstagram when I first joined it. Well, it was just a couple of months into it because I joined May last year. So yeah, I thought I'd just do this tag. Never done it here before because obviously I've only had this account since April. Yeah, April. So let's just jump right into it. I'm really freaking excited and nervous at the same time. I've grabbed some of the books from looking beforehand at the questions. I can only find 13, so I think that's how many there is. So that's what we're doing. So let's just jump right into it. So the first question is, best book you've read so far this year? I mean, it's no contender. It's One Last Stop by 𝐂𝐚𝐦𝐞𝐫𝐚. I absolutely love this book, and if you guys haven't read it, please do. It's amazing. It really lives up to the hype, and it, in my opinion, it's better than Red, White and Royal Blue. I loved Red, White and Royal Blue, don't get me wrong. I'm one of those people, I loved it, I adored it, but I love this one even more. So yeah, this is the best book I've read so far this year. I have actually just posted a review because as of today, it is the 2nd of July when I'm filming this. So yeah, one of my favourite books so far this year, definitely. And probably going to be within the top 5, I reckon. The second question is, best sequel you've read so far this year? If you know me, you know I love the All for the Game series, and I actually read it earlier this year. So, I haven't read any sequels this year, but The King's Men, the last book in the All for the Game trilogy, is definitely my favourite sequel I have read this year. I just adore this series. These two are like within my favourites. Like, this is my favourite trilogy. This is my favourite standalone. So yeah, but my favourite sequel has to be The King's Men by Nora 𝐶𝑎𝑛𝑛. The third question is, new Relish you haven't read but you want to. So Perfect on Paper by Sophie Gonzalez. I got this during Pride Month and I just haven't got round to reading it yet, but I really want to. I can't wait to read it. And apparently it's right, it sounds right up my alley, and one of the main characters is a bisexual main character, and you know, this doesn't give you a hint to my sexuality, I don't know what does. Number 4 is most anticipated release for the second half of the year. I have a few. Like, I'm pretty sure the third book for the Elder Curse series by Cassandra Clare comes out this year. I'm really freaking excited to read that book. What else am I excited to read? Let me just go to my wish list actually. I'm pretty sure I have a couple in there that aren't quite out yet. Oh, the special anniversary edition for Adularia, I'm really excited to get. My mum was getting me that for Christmas, so I can't wait. I'm also looking forward to reading. I'm trying to see if I can see them on my shelves that are going to have sequels coming out this year, but I can't see any. There's Found, which is, but it's the UK paperback version. Is it come? And it's part of the House of Night series, but the Overworld series that comes out this month in Waterstones, so I can't wait for that. I'm just looking. Actually, let's have a look at the ones I've pre-ordered first, and then we'll go from that way. Oh, �XOXO, I'm really excited to it. That comes out this month. Pretty sure it comes out this month. Yeah, it comes out like in 2 weeks. And I'm really freaking excited because I ordered the Fairy Loot Special Edition. Can't wait for that. What else have I got ordered that... Oh, here's one I've pre-ordered. It's called Little Thieves by Margaret Owen, and that comes out in October, so I can't wait to read that one. I think that's one of the only ones I have pre-ordered currently. Yeah. So let's go to my wish list and have a look down there. I could just go to NetGalley. Let's go look at NetGalley. I think that's going to be the best option, is to look on NetGalley and see what they have. So I have NetGalley up on my laptop. So one of the ones that I have my eye on is Cheer Up, and that comes out August. This one looks cute, If This Gets Out, and that comes out in December this year, so I might request that. Oh, After Love, I can't think of its by currently. It might be Tanya someone. I'll put the titles up so you can see. I'm really looking forward to that one. Do 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 do. I Kissed a Girl seems cute as well, and that's by Jeanette Alexandra. Yeah, so I want to read The Good Occasion, and that comes out in October, but I haven't read The Prison Healer, but I have it, so I might have to say to the girls we should read that soon because that comes out in October. So I'm supposed to be buddy reading it with some friends on Bookstagram, and we were supposed to buddy read it like a couple of months back, like last month, and none of us could eventually do it. We were all just too busy doing stuff. Also, I kind of had like a... So yeah, that sounds like an interesting book to read. But yeah. Right, one more category and then I'll be I'm gonna look at under actually 2 more. I'm gonna look under sci-fi and fantasy and then romance. And if I don't see any that I like there, then that'll be it, and we'll go on to the next question. Yeah, so like my favourite genre is LGBTQIA, which I've already been through. New adult, I've been trying to read more of. YA, and then obviously fantasy and romance. But I think if I get another, because I know on my TBR game I have dystopian world, so if I get like dystopian, then I'll just go to like NetGalley I think and just request a book that way, because the only ones I have on my shelf that I haven't read is the major one, and technically I have that on Kindle, so I could read that. Right, nothing in that section that piqued my interest. I'm just looking at the like general ones you can see. I'm not going into like look at more. I would do that another time. Ooh, this seems like it's been enemies to lovers one. It's called Love at First Bite. That could be interesting. With you from... Yeah, and they all come up this year. So yeah, I think that's it for looking on NetGalley. So let's just go on to the next question, because that's... Otherwise it's spent a very long time on just one question. So, that was a lot of most anticipated books, but like, yeah. So, my biggest disappointment, I need to explain my reasoning over this one, because I absolutely loved the movie when I was a kid. I used to love watching, like, I'd watched the movie quite a bit. And it starred us by Neil Gaiman, and I was so upset that I didn't enjoy it because of how much I loved the movie, and like, Ben Barnes when I was younger, so you know. Come on, it's Stardust. And I think like most English kids watched this when it came out, but I just couldn't get into the book. Tried. It was part of one of the Bookish Gang reads for earlier this year. I think it was like January or February time, and I just couldn't get into it. It really upset me. I think it was February, because I'm pretty sure the Songs of Achilles was June, January. It's one of those 2 months, you know. But yeah, I just couldn't get into it, and maybe I'll try again, because I love Victorian area like stuff, and that's when this is based. But it's just like, oh. But maybe because I like the movie is so stuck in my head, from like in my head is so amazing from when I was younger. I've not watched it in years, but yeah. Biggest surprise. What is my big? Actually, I really want to. I honestly don't know. It might actually be the Foxhole Court trilogy, the All for the Game trilogy, like that as a whole, because I read them on Kindle originally. That's how I read them. I'm just going to lean over to grab the books. I reckon these, the whole trilogy, would be my biggest surprise of how much I love them, because they're not really, the genre is like a sport romance, but it's got like mafia, and it's got like enemies to lovers and LGBTQIA+ in it. And I just really love the trilogy as a whole, so I think that would be my biggest surprise of what I loved. New favourite aura debut. So they're not new to me anymore, but I did only just start reading her books this year, so I'm gonna say 𝐂𝐚𝐦 𝐺7𝑋 because her books are amazing. I mean, hello, have you read them? If you haven't, what are you doing with your life, kind of thing. Like, they're just amazing. I mean, you can see how much I actually started tabbing these books, and they actually have all different meanings, these ones. Whereas before, in one of my previous videos, I had said that none of my tabbing systems had a meaning. I think it's when I read Malice, I just tagged because I've, but yeah, so the green tabs mean relatable, orange is important, and then pink is cute. So there's only one relatable, and most of it was just cute, or more important than cute though. But I loved it. So yeah, please read 𝐂𝐚𝐦 𝐺7𝑋 books because they're amazing. The next question is newest fictional crush. August and Jean from One Last Stop. I literally read this towards the end of June, so that's why I'm talking about it a lot, because it's fucking amazing. And I just love August and June so much. They're very relatable characters. I just love them, and how can you not have a crush on them? Also, Bryce from Crescent City. I read this a couple of months back and I still absolutely love Bryce. I also really love, there's quite a few characters that I love, but those are like my newest fictional crushes if we're talking about recent. So yeah, that's that. Book that made you cry. So the last book that actually made me cry was Crescent City by Sarah J Maas. I almost freaking knocked my head out with this book. Yeah, I don't cry often during books, and I think I read this. When did I read it? Let's have a look on Storygraph quickly. I'm really excited because Storygraph just got an actual app in all app stores, so I'm really freaking happy about that. When did I buddy read this with Trish and Luce? I want to say it was like March, maybe March or May. Right, we started in March, finished in May. So yeah, this baby made me cry. If you've read it, you know why I cried. And I cried more towards the end than the beginning. That's why I cry. So that's what I'm going to say about this book, because I don't want to give people spoilers in case they haven't read it yet. Let's go for the next question, which is question number 11. A book that made you happy. Can I just say One Last Stop again? Just One Last Stop. Also the Heartstopper series, and I will insert a picture here because I can't be asked to get off my bed just to go show you the books. But yeah, I'll insert a picture here that I will take to show you my nice little collection I have from Anna Statesman. I mostly only have the Heartstopper books, but they just make me so freaking happy. It's like coming home after like a long day away. Yeah, like that. Also, how cute is my top? Sounds gay, I mean. Question 12. The most beautiful you've bought so far this year or received. The most beautiful book I've bought myself this year, I have to say, is Some Girls Do. Have you seen this cover? I mean, how beautiful is that? Also, I have some other really beautiful books that I received from Fairy. So let me just grab one of those. So I'll be back in a second. April book, if I remember correctly, was The Prison Healer. this is the book. And this is the sides. And this is underneath the dust jacket. And this is the reversible dust jacket. Tell me that's not a beautiful book. It's just, my mum subscribes to them, but I may share them because I wanted it but I couldn't afford it at the time. And still can't, so. And then the April book was, I was so freaking happy I got this right, and it's Witches Steeped in Gold. Yeah. Witches Steeped in Gold. It's a very beautiful book. These are the edges, just 3. This is the book itself. And then you also go under the dust jacket. Matches this side. And then a very beautiful, oh, just look at them. This is why I love Fairy Loot books, because they go beyond. Oh, my laptop decided to restart, that's great. They just go above and beyond for their books, I think, in my opinion. 1 second. 15. What book do you really need to read by the end of the year? So a book I really want to read by the end of the year, I really want to actually be able to finish A Court of Silver Flames. I started that and I wasn't in a really right headspace mentally when I was reading it, so I haven't finished it. The Crown of Gold Bones I also want to read. I have 2 copies of it, so I really should read it. I got 2 copies before my book. Technically I have 3 because I also have it on my Kindle. I'd also really like to finish the Grishaverse. I only have King of Scars and Ruler Wars to read left now. I'd also really like to at least start the Vampire Academy series because I have the first and I have the last book. Yeah, those are the books I'd really like to read by the end of the year. Also, that's another book that I'm really looking forward to as a sequel coming out this year. Redemption. It's the sequel to Raybearer and it's by Jordan 𝐂𝐚𝐦𝐞𝐫𝐚. I don't know how to pronounce her last name, but it's a really the UK covers are beautiful, so I'm really glad I'm really glad I'm English because you get those covers and they're just beautiful. So yeah, those are some books I'm really excited to read this year and I'd love to get to by the end of the year. So yeah, that's all today guys. If you've read any of those books, let me know below and I'd love to chat about you because I'd love to expand my page a bit more. I'd love to interact with you guys a bit more. So, you know, if you got to the end of the video, leave your favourite book that you've read down below and a book emoji. That's all. That is all for this video guys. I will see you next week. Bye!